All right, so apparently I made OBS too sad, and OBS said no. I'm not sorry.
OBS was just like, we're gonna ruin this man for you.
Sorry about it.
He's just so awful. Just so rancid.
And so, in the moment that you find yourself sitting at the table in the midst of this conversation, you hear your parents and Dr. Stewart talking about the terms of this arrangement, of this agreement.
Right. Fully like I'm not there, even though I am. Okay. I think he just sort of sits there. The box that I got in my locker, would that have fit in my backpack?
It would have, yes.
Okay. Then I think the book bag is under the dining room table. And he's just sort of like checking, is the box there?
Yeah, you reach down, you kind of feel around, and you know that that's not the shape of one of the books or anything else. That box is with you.
Okay. Okay. There's a comfort and an apprehension with it. This whole situation is nothing but dichotomies. It's wild. Um, and I think he's just sort of trying to get through this moment. Um, he remembers being excited for the possibility. The doctor was speaking of nothing but good things to come. He was going to help a lot of people. He was going to be useful. But he also knows how that turned out. Oh, did we?
And so Connor, as you sit there, as you remember those feelings, I think one thing that is the hardest is the fact that Dr. Stewart seems so hopeful for you that even though the conversation is happening between him and your parents, he's acknowledging you. He's looking at you. He's smiling at you. And he seems genuinely invested in you. And you see him shake your father's hand, shake your mother's hand. And then you are being escorted out of the house. And as that door opens and you step outside into the cool night air, You find yourself at a very, very different moment. You can feel that your body is now different. It has been changed. Imagine that we may find Connor kneeling on the ground, looking up at Dr. Stewart. And there is a look of almost disgust on Dr. Stewart's face as he shakes his head and says, "You, my boy, you are such a disappointment."
I'm just what you made me. But you can fix it, right? You can put it back.
A sculptor can only create from the material he is given. And if that material is worthless, then what is crafted is worthless too. You were flawed material, my boy.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
He doesn't even acknowledge your apology. No, he does. He doesn't initially. Starts to walk out and then nods and says, "As you should be."
It's hard to separate from this moment. To know that change has happened within him beyond this moment. It was a defining moment for him. It was something that shaped how he would move about the world for the longest time. So even though a little part of him is screaming for him to fight back, to actually put the accountability where it belongs, on the sculptor and not the material, he can't. So he just stays there on the floor.
And Connor, as you sit there, you start to hear sounds that you know you didn't hear before. You couldn't have, because you hear Ellie's voice. You hear Mara's. You hear Valen. You hear Scylla. Some of them are screaming in pain or panic. Others are calling out for help. Scylla is calling your name.
Got it. That's what he needs. He's up immediately. Wherever he's hearing Scylla's voice, whatever wall is there is gone.
I think I would like you to roll to unleash your powers.
Great. Hey, can I use my thing?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Cool beans, cool beans. That is an 11.
Okay. That is an impressive roll. Connor, tell me how you take out this wall. What does it look like?
I think the emotions well up, and hearing Scylla, he calls back to her. Whatever the floor is made of, he's made of. And he's just drawing more and more of it around him until he is like the Hulk, just a massive figure. And he's just going to punch the wall repeatedly, just hit after hit. As soon as there's like a grip, he does like he said, and he will tear, almost like he's tearing reality apart, trying to get through the wall into the next space, trying to get to Scylla.
And I think it's apt, Connor, that you describe that as tearing through reality, because as you rip through, you find yourself falling once again, this time stumbling to one knee, and you know immediately that you are back in those hallways of Hemlock. And you feel something that you didn't expect. You feel the weight of something in your hand. And you can't see it in this moment with there being no light, but you know that's the weight of the exact same obsidian dagger.
Great. Question for you. Can I connect to it, like with my power?
Yes. With an
Cool.
11, absolutely, I will consider that to be part of the roll.
Fantastic. Hey, we're going full obsidian.
Hell yes.
Mhm. And we got some shadows to fight. So, so that's what we're doing. Hey, does tearing apart, like tearing a fabric, like a thread of reality, does that count as breaking something?
Not in the case that anger needs to be unleashed.
Fair. I figured I would give it a shot. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely a fair question, and one I have asked myself on many occasions in Academy H.
Fair. Okay. Yeah. So it was Scylla's voice that I heard first. So we're going to Scylla.
And I'm going to give you all essentially just a snapshot as all of your characters find themselves back in those halls of Hemlock all together again. Ellie and Milo running down one hallway, Mara running towards them, Valen, if I recall, being face to face with one of the creatures. I want to hear what your character does or says as they ready themselves for this fight beginning. Not the first offensive action, but the last thing you do before the fight begins.
Starting with who?
I was gonna let us start with the whole spotlight. Whoever wants it can have it, but I can also call on you.
Can Mara see Ellie and Milo, or is it like really dark?
It is really dark, but I will say you can hear movement coming from the direction that they disappeared in.
Okay, do I know it's Ellie then?
No,
Okay.
you do not know for certain. You could suspect it might be, but you know that there are two pairs of footsteps heading towards you.
Okay, 2 pairs of footsteps. Mara is going to yell at the top of her lungs, Rook, stay the fuck away from Ellie.
Fucking incredible. Absolutely fucking incredible. I think I may need to tag you in on that, LC. So, how does Ellie respond?
Elsie has to contemplate this, because I thought that was beautiful, is not even missing a beat of like stepwise and like dragging Milo behind her, running down this hall. It's just like in the comedic, almost comedic fashion of running past someone while shouting at them. Is like, I don't know why that was your first thought to yell that down a hall when there's a fight going on, probably in the near future. But a wild choice. We should go this way.
She's more dangerous.
It's not Rook. Come on.
Hi, I'm Milo.
Still running. Did not stop.
Mara's eyes meet Milo's and then just other way.
Oh, we did not stop running.
Yeah,
If you want to come like this way with us, or wait.
Yeah, Mara will follow.
Which Ellie's first instinctual reaction to ready themselves for this fight would be to protect Milo and make sure that he is either A, moving in a safe spot or behind her, which is wild because he's like a foot taller than her.
I'm imagining that Milo's like semi-crouching down so that you can actually shield him.
Yeah, probably. He's just like he's a little ball. I love this little twink man. Perfect angel baby.
Never done anything wrong.
Never
ever
done
in his
anything wrong in
life.
his life. No, everyone's seen The Boys. Kian's watched The Boys now. Kian knows.
And Kian and Steph, what are Valen and Scylla doing as they're readying themselves for what is about to happen?
Valen has never had to face one of these things before, has never had to contend with the darkness. Because Valen has always been on vacation whenever the darkness showed up. Aside from the very first time that it showed up and Valen sprinted away and ran. So Valen doesn't really know what's going on. Do we have our memories from what the fuck we just experienced?
You do. Yep.
Okay. I think Valen rolls up the song that came on for me is perfect for right now. Valen rolls up his sleeves and the lightning marks are there on his forearms and wrists and hands. And he makes eye contact with this thing as best he can and just says to himself, all right, Valen, time to see what you can do.
Hell yes. We'd love to see it.
So are Valen and I in the same hall facing down how many antlers? Freaks? Like
2.
2? okay. Scylla is kind of thrown because the last member she has is dealing with some weird cult shit that she was not in control of. So she is very much frazzled, on edge, and kind of a bit disoriented initially, and then is just like, "Oh, Valen, oh no, monsters! Oh god!" And she is going to. Oh, what is she gonna do? Where are my moves? God.
And it doesn't have to be a power yet. It's more just readying whatever may happen next.
Um, I would like to try to pierce the mask.
Interesting. Okay. Of who?
The antler man closest to Scylla.
Okay.
She wants to try to figure out what the fuck is going on. Who is this? That is.
Roll with mundane.
Was it mundane? Okay, that's not a bad roll for me. Okay. Wait. And that's not affected by afraid, correct?
I believe it is not.
No, that's too directly engaged. Okay, yeah, no, we're good. We're good. We're good. Sweet. Okay. That's a 10.
All right, you can ask 3.
Hell yeah. Um. And I'm not restricted to the questions on the list.
I'll consider some alternative ones. Depends on the question. Can't make promises.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Who do you serve?
That's an interesting one, and I don't think you get a direct answer to that because how could you?
Yeah,
You know,
this is like
there's
purely a vibe check.
this is exactly. So I think the question is less who do you serve and more of a do you serve someone?
Yeah.
And what clues you into the answer there is the fact that all actually now 3 because there is another one of these antlered creatures coming towards you. They all look identical. There's nothing individual about each of them. Like they're duplicates.
Hmm.
And I think that starts the wheels turning of, well, of course, whoever is controlling them wouldn't make it that obvious who they are. Wouldn't put themselves maybe directly in the middle of the fray.
So it's more like there's not multiple, there's just copies of the original. Is what I'm getting if I'm reading that right.
Could be. Could also be they could be servants. Just all created to be exactly the same.
Yeah, little puppets. It's fine. You said 3 questions?
Yep.
What are you really planning? Like, obviously, they came here to beat our asses, but what are you really planning?
I think that ties in well with the first question. And the piece that clicks for you there is that feeling, as you said, of them being puppets, almost like they're here to test you all in some way to see what you can do.
Okay. Think given that weird blurred memory overlap Scylla just had of being stuck in a body that wasn't her body and doing weird cult shit in robes that were black and had no color, that's sad. How do I gain influence over you?
I think the piece you get there is kind of simply you impress them. And I think for Scylla, that's a bit of a scary thought to have, because I don't think Scylla knows how she would impress them or what would happen if she tried.
Cool.
And last, but certainly not least, what does Connor do in readying himself?
Well, I was trying to get to Scylla. So I would love to crash into whatever room her and Valen are in.
I think that is very doable. I think the rest of you just see Connor like fully take out one of the walls in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite like the Kool-Aid Man, but not unlike the Kool-Aid Man.
I mean, he doesn't say, "Oh yeah," but it's like Scylla. You know what I mean?
Connor! There's 3 of them! Help!
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna move to be sort of be within arm's reach of either two of them.
Now it's fair. 3 versus 3. They want to test us. I don't like tests.
It's fine.
Okay.
You're gonna pass.
You.
All right. We're going to do something we have not gotten to do yet, because you
Team
have
time.
not. Yep, you have
Team
not all
time.
entered a threat together against a dangerous
A
foe with a
whole
leader.
year. A whole year.
A whole
Yeah, no, that was on par
Whee!
for Academy H2. It took us forever to actually have a team leader. So we're going to start with 2 team in the pool. Q, does Connor have influence over every team member?
I believe so. Let me double check, yeah?
Connor doesn't have
Yeah.
influence.
I don't
over
have it
Mara.
over Mara. I thought I did. Oh no. Big sad. I don't have it over the Space Girl, so no.
A tragedy. All right, so I want to hear from each of you. Well, I'll just ask the question. You do not need to necessarily give me a book report, but does everyone have the same purpose in this fight?
Kind of hard to have a different one.
So true.
You
So
know,
true.
you would be surprised. Every so
Beat these
often
streets.
it changes. One person's like, actually, my goal is to do this other wild, chaotic thing. So all right, that is one more team added. So we're up to 3. Does anyone mistrust Connor? Okay.
Mara, don't fuck this up for us.
No, Mara, like if you ask that about any other person here, I think Mara might have a different answer.
Alright.
But Connor, no.
All right.
And I think this one is debatable, but I will hear those debates from you. Would you consider your team to be ill-prepared or off balance given what just happened?
Maybe just a little bit.
Just a little. Yeah. So we're going to remove one team, but you still have 2 team, which is better than 1 team. So, that is good. And just for those of you who have not experienced this in combat before with masks, team can be used if someone gets a roll that would be 1 away from a success. You can describe how you help them to bring it up to a full success. You can, and I'll have to remind myself of these rules, also use team selfishly, but that is not an optimal thing to do with team. It has some consequences. So the goal with it is to be supporting and helping each other so that you are able to get more successful rolls against the enemy you are facing. And with that, as you all are preparing, it jumps out to you that once again, things in Hemlock are very, very quiet. Moments ago, there were nurses still there. There were other patients still around. But you realize that it's just the 6 of you. The 5 of you on the team and Milo. Gray and Casey are nowhere to be found. Onyx, Bridget, Lucian, none of them are anywhere in sight. And that's the point where you notice that the shadows on the walls, there shouldn't even be shadows because there's hardly any light. You can barely see. There shouldn't be anything that can really cast a shadow, but something's moving on those walls around you. It looks strange, and for some of you, I think most notably Valen, who has seen Caleb's power at work, there's an element of it that looks similar, that prismatic rainbow that sometimes even looks like almost like paint being spilled, that makes everything just a little off kilter, a little distorted. It reminds you of that, but it's not Caleb's magic. It doesn't look like it. It's too dark, too monochromatic. And you realize in that moment that you're not sure where you are. But it doesn't seem to be Hemlock. It's like there is this bubble around you. And maybe it's just obscuring what once was Hemlock. Maybe you're somewhere else. Yes, Elsie?
Can I use I've been reading the files?
I'll let you do that when we come back.
Are you kidding? What if I lose my thought?
Write it down.
I'm putting it
Write
in the
it
notes.
down
Write it
right
down.
now.
Okay. Okay.
So we will be back in 10 minutes. We're going to take a break, get some water, get snacks, stretch our legs, and then we're going to answer Elsie's question. and then dive right into our first combat. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon.
Just excited
Yay.
about it. Just
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
stoked.
I would like to
ready
Yeah,
fight.
no, for
swing.
sure. Listen, because
Flying.
it's inadvisable to punch them in real life. However, do it sometimes, but also don't do it if it's going to get you in trouble. No face, no case. How about that? There we go. Fixed it. No face, no
Love
case.
it. Perfect.
There we go. If you want to do a punch, I support you. Don't be you when you do it. There you go. I'm here. I'm
We
helping.
we love helpful tips like that. Tips and tricks.
Exactly.
So speaking of punching, we are about to punch some antlered shadow creatures in the face potentially. Ellie,
Yeah.
you had a question.
Yeah. I want to roll. I want to been reading the files move this experience. This like what we all just witnessed with the shadows and the changing scenery. Because when you first encounter an important superpowered phenomenon, this would qualify, I believe. Roll plus superior on a hit.
Yep.
Tell the team one important detail you've learned from your studies. And I don't know which dice is good. We'll go with Old Gods, and I think Kia got me these dice, actually. Is it you give me these dice? Maybe. I don't know. Feels right. I can blame Kian if I roll bad.
Fucking rude.
I don't think that's how that works.
And my but can I also that's qualify as have I seen this before? I guess not. First encounter, so
Yeah.
fuck me, man. All right. That's an 8 plus 1. That's a 9.
Nice.
So I can't ask a follow-up question, but I can tell them one important thing I've learned.
So I think when you see that, Ellie, when you start to notice that, you are immediately clued into the fact that this is some sort of reality bending power. And one thing that stands out to you, one thing that worries you, is that it is possible you could find yourselves lost in reality.
Oh.
If reality breaks,
Oh.
you could all find yourself in a very, very tough spot.
Well. Great.
And
None of us
so
have
I
a problem with
think
breaking things.
Yeah, I think it kind of stands out to you that, like, you should still punch the things, but you might want to be looking for
A way out.
a moderate amount, not a severe amount of force.
Okay. I will relay all of that to everybody.
I will say on the flip side, Ellie, there is that realization that you're also not in Hemlock anymore.
Oh. The fuck?
So, pros, not in Hemlock. Cons, nowhere you're completely sure of.
This feels like the final stage of Super Smash Brothers, where it's just moving you through the different stages.
It's not a bad analogy.
All right. Let's TKO these bitches.
Who would like the spotlight first?
I would love to. Is everyone here now? Just all 5 of us?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, 6.
5 plus
there
Milo.
is
Yep.
there is a terrified, scrawny beanpole of a guy
Sure.
hiding behind Ellie.
So useless. He's so useless.
Gotcha.
I love him so much.
Okay. All right, real quick. LC. I know
Yeah.
every now and then Ellie does a glow.
hmm
Okay. Is that base power or is that when she has stuff?
That's flavor text that I give usually when absorbing a power or like having a really high emotional situation.
Okay.
hmm
Gotcha.
So whatever you want, I could probably figure it out.
Gotcha. Okay. Got it. Ellie, take my hand.
Are you sure? Am I
Take
sure?
my hand.
Okay. I take Connor's hand.
Cool
I
beans.
gotta keep track of this.
So hey, you have transmuting flesh, inhuman strength, impenetrable armor, and superhuman senses.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Gotcha.
Thanks for letting me know that in advance.
Of course. And also, as he's doing so, like you take his hand, and with the other, he's gonna give you a knife made of obsidian.
No. Okay.
Actually, no. I'm
No.
gonna give it. I'm gonna give it to Milo.
Milo's got a knife.
Hey,
Yay.
if they come at you, stab them with this.
With the sharp end.
Obviously, it's a knife.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Okay. All right. And then I'm just gonna go like full on engage with one of these bad boys, just mano a mano, obsidian hands to shadow whatever the fuck.
I think, Connor, that would count as directly engaging a threat.
Fantastic.
So I would love you to roll with some danger.
In a terrifying fashion. Okay. Cool beans. Let's absolutely go. We're back, baby. We're so back. That is an 11.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, so I think just like the hands, rather than becoming fists, extend. So now that he's got blades, just blades of obsidian, just hiya, just coming full swing on the shadow in front of me.
Incredible. So I now need to know, Connor, on a 10 plus, you can choose to resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Scylla did say that we need to impress them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said this was a test.
It was a test. Okay.
Mhm.
Cool beans. So then hope maybe it's a test of our powers. So I'm going to show them what I meant. Okay, so I'm going to avoid their blows and I'm going to terrify or impress them. Just like wanted the plan is to just bring both hands in and then just out. Yeah.
And Connor, as you go to do that, I imagine kind of have a moment of not being 100% sure like what sort of resistance you're going to meet.
Right.
Is this a shadow? Is this a creature? And it takes that moment when your hands essentially sink into it for you to realize that this is flesh and blood, because you can feel the flesh ripping and tearing. You can feel the blood coating your hands. And I do think there's a moment where, well, that's not an unfamiliar sensation to
Yep.
you.
Yep.
But you tear through this creature and it screams in response, but it doesn't fall. Part of it falls. Part of it just drops into clumps of something gooey on the floor. And then it reforms into a similar shape. The antlers are still there, but now it is on 2 legs instead of 4. Half of it has been torn away. And you see it falter a bit before locking in on you again.
Mhm.
Who would like the spotlight next?
I know what I'm gonna do if nobody else does.
Go for it.
Mara. Yeah, so Mara is like pretty stressed right now, and she keeps like grabbing around her wrist, as if like a habit, and then like shaking her hand about it. And she's gonna take a deep breath and try to drop back from Ellie and Milo running a little bit and charge up her powers.
All right. Roll to charge up.
Okay, and that's plus conditions. 86. Okay. That's an 8.
Okay.
Which is a mixed success, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mark another condition then.
You sure do.
Oh,
yikes. Okay.
Yeah, but I do get 3 burn.
Yep, that is something you get.
Mara.
For the record, Mara is 1 condition away from being full up.
No!
But it's you get to full and then another hit takes you out, right? Or is it when you get to full you're
It's
out?
when you get to full.
Oh,
Yep.
shit. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. Mara is going. Mara's nose is like bleeding really bad, by the way, and she looks like not great on account of being 4 conditions. But she is going to. JD, can you tell me, is there one of these 3 that is like farther away from everybody than the other?
You're all pretty packed in close together. I would say the one that is the furthest away, it's marginal. It's not
Okay.
like there's one so far back it would be completely clear of the others.
Okay. I think that's enough. Is it like, sorry, if you were to draw a line, would it be on one side and then everybody else would be on the other? If there were like some hypothetical line that would separate us?
It's pretty well mixed together.
Okay.
It would be hard.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Then Mara's going to use Reality Storm to directly
Okay.
engage a threat.
Incredible. And because you're using a burn, I believe it just happens.
No, it just lets me roll freak instead of danger, which is
That's
plus
right.
3 instead of plus 0.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I will roll again. Okay, that's a 13 total.
Okay. What does it look like when you do that, Mara?
I think that Mara has been like, despite everything, pretty controlled at like most points with how she expresses and uses things, except for like these moments of outburst. And I think this moment is like kind of a panic, realizing that with that mixed success, like she can't like hold on to everything. And is just going to say, Connor, get down. As Connor is really near this the creature, I guess, and is just going to point at it, and it is invisible unless you're looking really closely. But if you're looking really closely, you'll see it just like space a little bit, just like goes in a line from Mara to the thing that Connor just tore apart.
And Mara, I'm going to have a couple of questions for you. The first is, of course, are you spending 1 or 2 burn?
Let me read.
Are you willing for there to be collateral damage?
Can I ask a clarifying question about the collateral damage?
Sure.
Will it mark a condition for one of my allies? Would that be the collateral damage? Or is that too direct of a question?
No, that would not be the outcome.
Okay. Then I think Mara is going to use 1. I think it fits because Mara is not good at controlling this shit very well.
I think that is very fair and reasonable, and I think this all makes sense. And so I then do need to ask, much like I asked Q, since this was directly engaging a threat, what are the 2 options you would want to choose? Resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten them.
Okay. I for sure resist and avoid the blows.
Okay.
Mara can't take that right now. And I think the last one, the impress, surprise, or frighten.
All right. And so you use your powers to strike directly at one of these horned creatures, the one who Connor has already targeted. And it strikes true. And Connor is able to get out of the way. None of your other allies are caught in the midst of this. And there's a moment, Mara, where you think, that's exactly what I've needed to do. That was precise, that was targeted. I can do this. I can do this safely. And then you feel the ground shake. And you hear the sound of something beginning to shatter. And spidery lines start to crawl up that shadowy bubble that is enveloping you. Like a crack is opening up. Which is fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And while these creatures cannot attack either of the 2 who have gone after them so far, Ellie, I think you are the one first to notice Milo's breathing change. Like he is starting to hyperventilate more than he already was. And then you just hear him going, oh, fuck, 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 oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, Ellie. And
What's wrong with you? What? Stop.
And do you glance back at him?
Yes.
You see that substance that had fallen to the floor when Connor ripped through this thing has crawled over to Milo and is steadily enveloping his left hand.
Oh, nobody don't fucking listen to me. Nobody listen to me. I said don't fucking destroy this place. Fucking okay. Okay. Shit. This puts a kink in the plan that I was gonna do. All right. What did you give me? Can I use inhuman strength to peel this off of him? Like, can I just like Stranger Things? Shit. You know.
I think that's fair. I think in this case, instead of directly engaging a threat, you're going to be rolling to defend.
Okay.
So roll plus savior.
Fuck. That's fine. That's fine. It's not like I have a -2 in this. Do you ever just
Oh no.
You
roll
have
a total of 4 and then have to subtract 2 and then you roll a 2?
Can we take the order reroll?
Okay, can I take the order reroll, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
2 orders, so yeah.
I'll let you take that. I'll let you take that.
Well, that was a 5 instead of a 4. So that's a 3.
Same crime.
Elsie.
Oh my
Elsie.
god. Incredible.
So your dice do have 1 through 6 on them, right? Not like 1
Yeah.
through 0?
Yeah, they
Are
do.
you-
In
are
fact,
you
I can
sure?
count that high. Yeah,
Both of them?
both of them do go that high. Yeah. I could use the next order. I could roll it a third time. We could just give it the college try 3 times as charm. It's
Make it
up to
work.
y'all.
I'm willing.
Honestly,
Oh, yeah.
sure. Fuck it, we ball.
I'm not gonna look at it.
You need a dub.
No. No.
Please.
That was another 5 total.
Oh my god!
-2. It's another 3 total.
So hateful.
So I think, given that the dice are clearly telling a story,
Statistically.
the dice do not want you to be able to do this.
No, they
I
don't.
think we got a third order.
Nah.
Nah.
Nah, I'm gonna do it for fun though. I'm not gonna take it.
You sure?
That was a 7 though. Of -2, 5. It still doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I took it or not. So keep the order. Keep the fucking order. Fuck,
Damn.
man.
Ellie.
Anyways,
Ellie.
yeah.
Where do you think it goes wrong?
I don't know if this is something that I don't know how this thing works, whatever is attaching to him, but I think in my head what goes wrong is that it does let go of him if you're cool with that, but latches onto Ellie instead. And for reasons I don't know what this thing is. But given that I failed 3 times, I think a really extreme fuck up would be like now I have a debilitation from this substance that I told y'all not to fuck with.
You said the area.
I said don't break it.
I didn't break it. This was the person.
Collective.
This is the creature.
Collective.
This is the creature, not the area. This is
Collective broken.
Hey, skill issue.
Rolling a dice is not a skill, it's a luck issue. Thank you. So
Could have fooled me.
Step your
you're
foot
next in line to be Miss 2 City Blocks. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Anyways.
So, Ellie, you are reaching for the substance, and I think where it goes wrong is you had more of a methodical, intentional way of doing this. And I imagine that seeing the panic in Milo's eyes, you just react. Your thought is, I need to get this off of him in whatever way I have to. And you do, but that means you don't take the precautions you would need to protect yourself. And so rather than having something more neutral scrape it off, you end up tearing it off with your hands. And now it is attached to your hands. You feel cold as this makes contact with you. You feel alone. In this moment, it's almost as though the other members of the team are no longer here, as though Milo isn't here. There's a feeling of isolation wrapping around you. And that is where we're going to leave you for a moment, determining what steps to take as this proceeds. Scylla and Valen, what would you like to do?
Well, it's escalating quickly. So have I seen what's going on with Ellie yet? Because Scylla had been focused on the antler men approaching her and Valen.
I think you are still primarily focused on that.
Okay.
You know that Ellie is over, off by Milo. You could hear a little bit of a commotion, but there's a lot happening, and there is this creature bearing down on you and Valen.
Okay, then. Cool. Scylla is...
I also didn't make note of this. When Mara hit the one that Connor had previously been fighting with, it exploded. So it is no longer there. There are only 2 of them on the board now.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's absolutely go.
Cool. The one that seems closest to Valen, Scylla is going to launch at and kind of try to do a coil around the head and shoulders move. And I'm going to roll to see how that goes before I say what she's going to do next, because let's see how that goes. So that's directly engage a threat.
Yep.
That's what I have a -2 to. That's fine. She's still going to do it. Still going to do it. No, she's not. No, she's not, because I have a -2, so that's a 3. Well, I tried. What happens on a miss?
You guys.
Look, my baby's not had good luck for like 3 episodes in a row.
So, Scylla, you leap at this creature, and it's almost like it blinks out of existence for a moment, because you're pretty sure you were right on target. You were ready to protect or to attack this creature. I said protect because I'm thinking about what's going to happen next. So you leap. It's not there. You go crashing through the air, land on the floor. And the creature reappears right in front of you.
That's cheating!
And it is going to lower its head and go to drive those antlers right into your chest. Okay. And I would like you to roll to take a powerful blow.
Oh, okay. I haven't rolled that before. That's so fun. Whoa.
That is a dice roll plus conditions marked.
Plus conditions, right? Because I want to roll low on this, not high,
Yes.
huh? Uh-huh.
Good.
So what am I... So it's just a straight roll minus roll plus conditions. So that's a +2?
Mm-hmm.
So I swear to God, Steph,
I'm trying.
better roll low.
It's a 4.
Thank God.
I rolled 2 1s.
Oh, let's go.
Incredible.
Yay, bad dice rolls coming in clutch.
Incredible. So 1, you get a potential for that.
Ooh. Oh,
So I would like
tries.
you to tell me, how does Scylla avoid?
How does avoid?
Teeps.
Well, obviously, Teeps, I think, seeing it coming at her chest, she kind of rolls out of the way and then just kind of slides into like a crouch and then grabs the antler and just starts trying to gnaw through it.
Okay.
Because fuck this. If she can do it in one bite or if it's going to take a little bit, that's fine. She's going to bite that shit off.
And so, just as a reminder of where things stand on the field, one of these creatures has exploded thanks to Mara. There is a crack in reality developing. Ellie's hands are both stuck together, but also impacting how she is feeling. There are 2 creatures on the board. Scylla is gnawing on the antlers of one of them. Valen, what would you like to do?
Valen sees Scylla roll out of the way, start to bite. She's taking care of herself. I'm going to go for the one that has not been engaged yet. And Valen is going to rush it and hold a hand out. I don't even know if this is going to work, and neither does Valen. But I'm going to try and electrocute it. Just sort of thinking about the lightning marks on his forearm and is going to try and manifest that externally.
I would like you to roll to unleash your powers.
Okay. Oh, I'm scared. I'm so afraid. Oh, okay. Okay, that's an 8. I think I will let you tell me how the effect is unstable or temporary. I think that makes the most sense here.
All right. So, Valen, you reach out with powers that you still do not understand. You have seen them neutralize a door that was otherwise protected. You have seen them impact powers of others. You haven't necessarily seen them capable of electrocuting, but in this moment, you realize these are your powers and they're not unlimited, but they do seem to be able to do what you want, or at least what you have wanted so far. And you see that electricity arc from your hands. It hits this creature, and you see this creature convulse like it has been electrocuted. It starts to drop down, its legs becoming weak. But that isn't what these powers were meant to do. You know that. It was like they adapted and changed, but you can feel that they want to shift back to what they're meant for. The exact purpose, you don't quite know, but you notice that your powers are fighting against you, trying to push you in a different direction. And so it's keeping this creature contained, but only for this moment.
I think there is this brief moment of sort of registering what's going on around them. And there's this moment of like, fuck, I should not be here with these people who can actually get shit done. There's that hesitation, there's that anxiety. And I think Valen kind of looks at his own hands and I think despite the chaos going around them, there's this moment of just like getting lost in his own head and kind of his guard goes down and he stands there stupidly for a moment, just really not sure what to do and feeling very disconnected from everybody else around him.
And I think it then makes sense that the one that Scylla is on top of, that she is biting. It starts to rip and tear at the ground with one hoof. And those cracks that have already started around you begin to spread. And then that one is going to charge at you, Valen. And so I'm going to need you to roll to take a powerful blow.
The one I'm chewing on is charging him?
Yep.
This is fun. Great. Jesus.
Q, would you like to use a special move that you have? Because I would allow that.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. Also, I'd like to defend. That would be nice.
I'll let you defend if you use that move.
The wish I could be. Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
Yep.
For sure. Okay, now what the fuck is he gonna say? Okay. So I think with this beast charging, Connor is going to step in the way. Just like hands up. I know Scylla's gnawing on some antlers, but we're just gonna grab them anyway. You can gnaw on the hand, it's fine. You've done that before. And just stop the thing mid-charge. At least that's what we're going for. Valen, I need you to be the asshole that you always are. Talk shit and hit these guys. You're supposed to be here. You're here, so be here with us. And then just gonna yell at the thing in front of me.
So I'm gonna have you make 2 rolls, Connor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna first have you roll Wish I Could Be, and start there.
Incredible. Thank God, because I am at a -2. You feel me? But luckily that was still a 10.
Incredible.
We
So
got
that was a comforter support roll.
Yeah.
With that, Kian, you can mark potential, clear a condition, or shift labels, your choice.
I'm gonna mark a potential because that gives me an advancement.
Hell
Let's
yes.
go.
And
Okay.
because that was a 10 plus, you can add a team to the pool or clear a condition yourself, Q.
Okay. While I would love to clear a clear condition, I actually think I'm going to add team to the pool, mostly for what it means for the team.
Up to 3 team. All right, then Q. The other thing I'm going to ask you to do, I'm not going to have you roll to defend. You put yourself in the middle, so I'm going to have you roll to take a powerful blow.
Absolutely. Plus conditions. Okay, hey gang, maybe. Let's do this. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8.
Okay. Okay. Then on a 7 to 9, you're going to be choosing one. You lash out verbally, provoke a teammate to foolhardy action. You give ground, your opposition gets an opportunity. You struggle past the pain, mark 2 conditions.
Yo, listen. I need to clear insecure, but so does Mara. But listen.
I'm not giving ground. Sorry about it. Are you talking about your foolhardy action?
Yeah.
You know what? Actually.
Yeah.
Actually.
No, I know you're not gonna give ground.
No. Okay.
Can you not?
You're going to provoke a teammate to foolhardy action?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. This actually works out. Ellie, focus the fuck up.
Oh shit. All right.
The only trained one of us. Where are you at, ho?
On the ground. Where am I? I'm always on the ground. Can you stop?
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Okay. Yeah. So my foolhardy action is where is this I don't know if it's the last one. This the remaining dudes.
Yep, there is one that Connor is currently tangling with, and that Scylla is biting. And then there is the one that you can see Valen holding in some sort of what looks like electricity trap almost, but you can see that Valen's powers are starting to flicker.
Where's Mara?
Mara's still like semi-removed from the group and just got like is kind of huffing and puffing after shattering that one thing.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. So my foolhardy action is latching on to those feelings of insecurity and loneliness and all of the things that this substance is causing her to feel, and then simultaneously hearing Connor tell her to fucking do something because she's stupid. She would get herself together enough to like use that super strength from Connor to pull her hands apart. And the first thing, and I mean this in the nicest way, that insecure and loneliness brings to mind is Mara. And the foolhardy action is actually to bolt towards Mara and grab Mara by the hands, so it's skin to skin contact, which is my foolhardy action, because that's 3 powers at one time. Look at her, and I want to also comfort and support to try and clear a condition for her and tell her that you're doing fine. Keep using your powers. I know you can do this. You're not going to cause any more harm. I promise. Eye contact whole time. I get how it feels to feel lonely and insecure and scared when you have such great responsibility and great power, but you can do this. And now we have matching nosebleeds.
I'm gonna I think first need you to roll to comfort or support.
I actually No. Not no
Based
to
how
you.
Ma-
No to those dice.
I'm gonna base how Mara reacts off of the roll.
Oh, great. What if I just
As
beef
you
it?
should, as you should.
I'm just gonna beef it. Okay. Yo! That. Oh, I was using my influence too. Sorry. I have influence over Mars. That's +1. So that's a
Okay.
10.
And so with that, Mara, you will be able to mark potential clear condition or shift labels if you open up to Ellie
I'm
in this
gonna-
moment.
I'm holding your hands, girl. I'm holding
I'm
your hands. I'm
gonna
looking you in
clear
the eyes.
condition, bah. If I open up to Ellie in this moment,
Mhm.
I think Mara hears everything Ellie says and is like frozen throughout all of it. Like the tough girl act is completely dropped, just like a face of just like what? And after Ellie's done saying everything, what if I fuck up?
That's not what I said. I didn't say what if. I said I know you can do this and you will do this. Doesn't matter.
Uh, um, go.
That's all. So she has to say it, go, and yeah. We will see where this goes.
Mara is going to clear insecure.
Okay. And Ellie, because that was a 10, you can also decide to mark the potential to clear a condition or to add team to the pool.
I love y'all, but with my rules, I have to clear this last condition for unleash my
Do it.
powers.
My love. Do
Please
it.
do. So-
Please do.
I'm now conditionless for once in my life. Yeah.
And Ellie, it's a little unorthodox, but I think it makes sense with your power abilities. I am going to need you now to roll to unleash your powers, not to attack, but to see if you can control yourself with the fact that you now have 3 different sets of very volatile powers.
Yeah. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Oh, don't go. One was on the floor. I'm sorry. All right. 7, 8, 9. 9.
Okay. I think that is a roll that makes sense because that would indicate kind of unstable or temporary power ability. And I think you can feel you've got way too much juice. This is not going to be sustainable for long.
It's like the
And-
Captain Marvel glow.
Exactly. And so the two of you are having this moment. Connor has offered some words of wisdom and support to Valen. Scylla is biting. And that shaking, that trembling of the floor that you felt before when Mara unleashed her powers, that's still there, and it's getting worse. The cracks are spreading. They are through one part of the wall. They're stretching out across the floor. And none of you have a chance to react before the floor beneath Milo opens up and he drops through. And the floor reseals itself above him.
I created one soft boy. One soft boy.
Harp, do you have a question or a thought?
There's no body. He's not dead.
I
That's
was
true.
I was going to ask if it's my turn next.
It is still the rotating spotlight, so I think it makes sense for it to go to Mara now.
I think Mara listens to what Ellie said and then watches this ground break for Milo. And she's gonna walk over to the exact spot where Milo was. Gonna like look at Ellie doing whatever she's doing. And is going to unleash her powers and try to make herself so heavy that she also breaks through that floor after him.
Okay.
And I am going to use the rest of my burn for that. So I'm taking a 10.
Okay, that was going to be my question is are we going to be using some burn on this? All right. And so using overcharge?
Yes.
Okay. I'm curious, Mara, because this will make a difference. Is your goal in that moment to go where Milo has gone? Or is your goal to get Milo out?
The goal is to get Milo out for sure. But if the only way to do that is to follow him in briefly, Mara's prepared to do that.
And the reason I wanted to ask is because one of the things with overcharge is that you can reshape the environment. And so if you chose to do that, you would not necessarily have to follow him. You could essentially make the floor open up so that he could be reached.
Yeah, she'll do that. She will
Okay.
do that for sure.
I figured since you're spending your burn, I would want to give you the options and
Yes, thank you.
let you choose how you would want that to play out. So, Mara, you make your way over to where Milo disappeared. And I think, in essence, this is one of those moments where you're discovering things that your powers can do that you didn't know before. Because I do think you go into that thinking, all right, gonna mess with gravity, going to use my powers in the ways I'm used to so that I'm able to get him out. But that isn't what happens. You instead reach out and essentially say, my will is stronger than yours. And start to use your powers to take control of this space. That whatever you are fighting, whatever you are facing, has been manipulating so far.
I think as Mara realizes she can do this, there is like a tiny glint in her eye that resembles something like excitement. And then it's refocused into trying to make sure she doesn't snap everybody in half or something while doing this.
And I think that's the other piece that stands out to you, Mara, is in this moment, you feel in control of your powers. It has felt so unsteady and unstable and combustible this entire time, but when you lock in that way, you essentially force that floor to start kind of tearing up, opening up, and you see Milo hanging like a foot below. And you can tell me what it looks like because you have options. You could make Milo float up to you. You could create handholds for him. You could float down to him, but however you choose, you are able to reach him and get him out of there.
I think that Mara starts to like reach down to him and then kind of stops and gets like the half smile of disbelief. And then in like that same kind of space ripple that happened, I think happens to Milo, and he's just there on the floor now. Like up next to Mara. Like faster than the blink of an eye.
And Milo is just there, like panting and gasping and being like, oh shit, what the fuck was that?
Repaying a favor, I guess. And closes the floor behind him.
You have successfully retrieved Milo.
Mara, like with the like kind of smile, starts to look around like, did you guys see that shit? And then kind of goes stone faced again as she realizes she's not supposed to be excited.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Get hype. Get hype. Whose turn is it?
Yeah. We've got a couple of options for the spotlight.
I have an idea, but I want like Balin and Zilla to go first.
I mean, I want to snap that antler off.
Okay.
Like, I'm taking that. They were rude. It's mine now.
I think that's going to be rolling with danger to directly engage a threat.
Also, she doesn't want it to gore Connor like it tried to gore her. Like, so rude. So rude. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
No, you got that order, girl. You got that
I
order.
did?
I didn't use
Okay.
it. I didn't use it, girl.
Okay. Police order. Oh, thank God. Okay. Well, that would have been a 10, but it's an 8. So that's a lot better than a 2.
You know, you're not wrong.
Jesus Christ. My
All
girl doesn't
right,
deserve these
so
crimes.
I think in this case, in that way, you're going to be taking something from them. You're going to be taking that antler.
Just one big, powerful chomp, and she just takes the whole section off and just kind of yanks it back, almost like she's starting now playing a game of keep away in case it suddenly has hands. I don't know. Does it have hands, JD? Because I thought this bitch was on 2 legs. Apparently, it's been on 4 the whole time.
This one has. Yep.
So no hands or hands?
No hands yet.
Good. I hate that. Cool. So she's gonna just kind of take that away, and it just says, "Was that impressive? If not, that's a shame. It's mine now. Don't hurt my friends."
Scylla, you did not choose to resist or avoid their blows.
No, I didn't. I wanted the antler.
And so you do that.
Uh-huh.
It once again, much like when Connor tore the other creature apart, it screams, and everything happens in a way that feels very slow. You feel this horned creature that you are on top of rear up and start to tip backwards
Uh-oh.
with you still attached.
Uh-oh.
But as that is happening, you hear a voice that says, impressive, but not as impressive as the things you could do if you tried. And you don't have time to answer because you are falling. And I am going to need you once again to roll to take a powerful blow.
Okay. And it's plus the condition. Okay, so that's 5.
Okay. All right. Don't forget to
Low rolls
give
come in
yourself some
clutch.
potential.
Yay!
I
Low
certainly
rolls.
I certainly have some thoughts, but tell
Uh-huh.
me how once again Scylla just manages to not be crushed by this creature, trampled, anything else.
I mean, she's just so wiggly.
That was my thought.
I have to look up what the take a powerful blow. So that was on. Yep. She's just kind of gonna wiggle out of the way from falling and just kind of hop off of it, I suppose, and just kind of deliberately, like as she launches off, just kicks very hard as she can into the ribs as she just bounces herself off. Still mine.
Scylla, you do indeed still have an antler.
Good.
And we're going to move the spotlight over to Valen because Valen will have a chance to act before something is going to happen.
How tall are these things?
They're tall. I would say like a good frame of reference would be a moose. We are talking that big.
Okay.
That
Okay.
big and bulky.
Terrifying. Moose are terrifying. So thank
They
you for that.
sure are.
They are so scary. They should not be able to do what they do. Okay. Valen. This changes my plan. I didn't think that they were that tall. And they have faces.
They have something that looks vaguely horse-like. Not human faces. This is much more I should specify the one Ellie saw when she was playing laser tag. Now that was very much an antlered human figure. These are very much antlered creatures. So they do resemble more of, again, a moose, a horse, a deer, something more like that than a human.
Okay. Valen moves to this same one that is being engaged with less. If I can do both of these things, I would like to try and sweep its leg out, its front legs out, at least one of them. I just need to drop it in height a little bit because Connor said to hit stuff and Valen is going to punch it in the face.
I would consider that combination to count as directly engaging a threat.
Okay, perfect. Ooh. What do I get to add to that? I hope something decent.
Danger normally.
No. I get to mark potential because that is a 5. God.
Well, that is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Valen, where do you think it goes wrong?
I think it takes Valen too long to get back up to punch. So this thing absolutely sees him coming when he goes to swing.
And I think with that, Valen, especially because I have some chaos points I haven't used, I'm now going to need you to roll to take a powerful blow since you are up in this thing's face and you were not able to strike.
And this one we want low rolls.
Correct.
Plus it's roll plus conditions. That would be a 13. For boxcars on that
Bro,
one.
no!
So who wants to speak first at Valen's funeral?
So,
Homeboy
Valen,
just got yeeted.
you've got some options, Valen, and I'm curious which you want to take. Because you can remove yourself from the situation. You can lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way. Or you can take two of the options from the 7 to 9 list.
I think. Wait, let me look at one thing. I'm torn, so I'm gonna let the dice decide. Okay. I'm going to lose control of myself and my powers in a terrible way.
I really hoped you were going to pick that. Valen, what does it look like as this happens? As this creature that you were about to strike instead does what it has been repeatedly trying to do to you and others and sinks those horns into your chest.
Valen is used to brawls and to being scrappy in a fight, but never with weapons, not like this. And I think Valen kind of doubles over and I think is kind of going back to what Connor said about like you're here, so be here. And I don't know what thoughts you have about losing control of myself or my powers, but I think Valen has this thought of if I'm going to go down, I'm going to take this thing with me. And I think that is like Valen kind of lets the control slip. And whatever, he doesn't understand his powers. He doesn't really know what they can do yet. But whatever they're going to do is what they're going to do. And he's going to put all of his energy into that. That does give him more control than losing control. So I will absolutely accept if you have pushback on that.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think what the rest of you see is this horrifying moment where those antlers fully impale Valen and lift him up. And you see Valen's hands come to rest on that creature's head. And that same lightning starts to course from them into this creature. And you've seen some elements of this flickering at different times before, but never like this, never so overt and never so charged up. Because you see blue lines start to move through this creature, starting to make it unmake. You see shadows and darkness starting to come out of it, and it gets to the point, Valen, where you fall back to your feet because this creature is disintegrating, not the way it did when Connor tore it apart, where there were remnants left, but into something completely insubstantial. And it's not just this creature, it is the other remaining one. It is the floor, it is the walls. You all feel yourselves starting to experience what you did not too long ago when you lost your powers. Connor, you feel your body trying to revert. Ellie, you feel those powers that you took in starting to flicker and fade. Mara, I would imagine, and I will let each of you give more of your thoughts on this before we finish tonight, but I would imagine for Mara, there's probably a mixture of emotions. There's that hope of what she looked for with the bracers, and there's the fact that Mara just used her powers in a way that felt right and beneficial and helpful. And Scylla. Scylla, it's strange because before, the things that stood out to you the most were changes in those scales on your body, changes in your moth friends, and those pieces, but you start to feel an emptiness inside of you, like something central to who you are is missing. But before what happened last time, when you were all depowered, can happen, there is a high-pitched ringing sound, and the world around you shatters apart. And then the world is back. You're on the floor in different places in the hallway of Hemlock. The lights are on. There is blood everywhere. And you are in the midst of this carnage and chaos. And you look at Valen. You expect to see Valen's chest torn open. But it's not. It's bloody. But the skin is unbroken. Instead, there are 2 puncture wounds where the antlers embedded themselves into your chest. Yes, Q.
Okay. Just so that I'm clear, because you did say carnage. What is the carnage here, apart from all of the blood? Because I do, I'm afeared. Go ahead.
No. 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 No.
so glad you asked.
JD, shut
I'm
up.
so glad you asked. I was getting there. So I think it does take you a moment to start to assess that because you're looking at yourselves, you're looking at each other, you're trying to see what's going on. And then you see the body parts. Arms, legs, torsos spread out all around you, and you see the familiar outfits, the familiar uniforms of the Hemlock staff.
I hate you. Hey. What am I holding? Is it still an antler, JD? JD.
It is.
Hmm.
And that's the part that I think hits you the hardest because you look at that, of course, thinking, is this going to be someone's hand? Is this going to be an ear? Is it going to be something else? No. There is what looks like a fragment of an antler in your hand. And then you hear initiate lockdown, and the alarms go off. And that is where we are going to end tonight's session.
We need to leave. We need to go. We need
So,
to leave.
hey,
Yes,
so
yes, Elsie.
actually, so
Hey.
actually,
I just want everybody to know I did not land a blow on a single person. I have not killed anybody.
But you helped
Number-
Mara.
I helped Mara, but I am number one in not killing anybody still. No body, no crime. Thank you.
I didn't kill any. I have an antler. So clearly, we didn't do this.
No.
I just want to go on the record. I just want to go on the record as saying, I fucking told you, and I'm mad about it. Ugh.
Also, oh wait, no, Marv has a question.
Is Milo still there?
Yeah, is Milo still there?
Oh
Is Milo intact?
Yeah, is Milo still
That,
in one
you
piece
know,
with us?
That is a very valid question. You're right. I did not include describing that Milo is in fact there. So yes, I think it takes a moment because like
Milo be
he's
looking
in the-
like
he's in the midst of this horror, and like for a moment you think he's part of the pile of bodies, but then he starts screaming.
It's just
and
Chewie.
panics.
it's just Chewie in every episode of The Boys ever.
You've done that to him again, and that's wild. That's that's crazy.
All I wanted is just a shitty little twink boy who doesn't do anything.
Well, I mean, you got it.
I did. Isn't he great? He helps so much. Yeah. All right.
You know what? You saved Milo though. So I
We
think,
saved Milo. I
honestly, this
think
is
We
winning.
saved
You,
a person.
you
What
cleared
an accomplice. What
conditions.
is-
Like all of them.
Yeah.
So Valen's fine?
Valen looks perfectly healthy and
Well,
intact.
I mean, are these like holes or like scars?
like scars.
I'm gonna be
Scars.
real.
Okay.
Like I was messaging Kian and I was like, that's the hottest thing in my opinion in a horror film, and I'm mad that you got it. You got lucky. And I'm sitting here like, damn, could have been me.
Still
That's my
could.
favorite.
It still
It
could.
still could. So I'm gonna let you have this one. But next time I'm gonna stab you with the antlers. I'm gonna get stabbed with the antlers.
My antler.
Kian's processing. It's all right.
I'm fucking shook.
Uh-huh.
I'm so fucking shook that we
We all
just
got covered in
murdered all this
blood.
stuff.
Look at
I'm
us.
We
so
didn't murder
shook.
them. We fought
Okay,
antler people.
what did the staff ever do for us? Nothing.
Okay.
If it was like foxglove amongst these people, I'd be fine.
don't
with
know.
That
it.
We are with
lucky. It's
Hey,
all
we-
the like
we all
Nurse
know it's
Smith
not.
number
Hold on.
2, number
Quick.
3, number 5.
Quick clarification, because we're surrounded by the bodies. Do we actually have like blood on our hands?
Are we covered in blood?
I think you're all covered
Hot.
in blood.
Hot. Let's go.
Mostly
Okay.
because that's hot.
Covered in
Okay.
blood.
Yes, thank you. Yes, it's hot. Yay!
Okay.
It's my favorite trope.
So
Thank
wait,
you. Noted,
do we
Captain.
still have our powers? Because
Oh yeah, that's important.
Is Connor
Oh.
still look like current Connor or
Yep.
like pre-power?
Yep,
Do-
you all look like yourselves. You all have your powers.
Empty feeling, yes or no?
That feeling's fading.
I'm gonna pee
Okay.
it.
Okay. Hey, we're gonna go ahead and take that obsidian knife from
From that
Milo
traumatized
now.
twink.
Yeah.
Get that away from him. I mean, he is! He is!
Get that obsidian knife away from that traumatized twink right now.
Shit, we gotta hide that.
To be fair, I don't think an obsidian knife on its own could have done all of this.
No, it would have broken probably. Oh, God.
Oh my god.
We
Anyways.
had the time here tonight, so I'm gonna let you all start to do outros. I'm gonna let Kian go last so they have time to process. I'm gonna start with our returning Q, who came back for emotional damage and then homicide.
I mean, that's really the whole crux of the character, honestly. The big feels and also murder. Hi, I'm Q. We're here playing our boy Connor Creed, the saddest, angiest boy that you ever did see. When you don't see me here, you can find me out on the internets at Midnight Inc. That is midnight, no more underscore. INQ. Q is my name. I'm sure you get it. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. I'm still making cowboys. What's next? This Thursday, I'm back again for Redacted. I get to play one of the many houses with all the ghosts up inside them. And then on Saturday, I believe, is class reunion. We're also back to that. We're playing an isekai. I'm the only non-isekai member. He's having a time. And then on alternating Tuesdays, you can find me over at Live from the Apocalypse for Nephilim Tenebris, where I'm playing one of my space cowboys, Captain Cassidy Starrunner, who is we're in the middle of a crash and run, just straight up. We are trying to storm the castle, and it'll take a miracle, but that's what we're looking for. Anyway, that's me. Glad to be back, y'all.
You were missed. Gonna toss it over to Steph.
Fight me. Hi, I've been Scylla. She's still convinced that they didn't kill anyone. Clearly it was the antler people because she's got a fucking antler and it's fine. Nothing's fine. But Valen's alive, so that is fine. You can find me, I don't think I'm on Redacted this Thursday, but we are back. My session will be in May, 1st of May, I believe. Until then, when you can't find me here, you can also find me in a season of Secrets and Shadows. We're having an 8-person ball on Sunday. See how the characters have been, how they're emotionally coping with the choices they made at the end of last season. It's so fine. Some of us have healed, I'm sure. And one shot. I have one shot. Yes, it's this Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and one shot over on LFTA. I'm blanking on the system because a lot just happened.
Kids on bikes.
Kids on bikes. Yes, kids on bikes. We're gonna have a normal one. So normal. Probably more normal than this. Who knows? Probably not. We'll see. We'll find out in RP. So yeah, this is fine.
It is very fine.
Why do you like this?
All right, gonna tag in LC.
Hi, I'm LC. I'm optimistic on all social media. I don't post on social media anymore. It's all right. But I've been Ellie Ellison today, as I am every alternating Tuesday. I still have a body count of 0, so everybody just jot that down. Gold star for me. Went through my fight without killing anybody. Just, everybody remember that. When you fucking Miss True City blocks my ass. Anyways, I won Lent. I won Lent. Because my next 2 games coming up, I don't think I'm going to kiss anybody. So I'm going to write that down. Thank you, JD. We're 1 for 1. Next year,
It
everybody
was, it was
see.
a tragedy. I
It's
really should have had the
tragedy.
darkness seduce you.
I offered, but I almost kissed Mara too, but I had self-restraint, and that would have had me win Lent anyways.
Yeah,
So
that wouldn't have been fair. That wouldn't have been losing Lent.
no, it'd be winning Lent. That was my other stipulation, was if I kiss Mara, that's automatic win. But I wasn't gonna traumatize her like that in the middle of this moment and slow burn, something slow burn, something consent. And that's not something that should be said. It shouldn't be something consent. Consent always. Anyways, I am also in that game of Kids on Bikes on Friday. I'm not gonna repeat everything 4 times, because I think I had 90% of the cast is here. And then on Saturday, we have our season 1 finale of Path of the Fates over on Tales from the Table Studio. I forgot what I did to get +1 on all rolls against the big bad, but I did something to get a boost. I don't know what it is, but I dumped all my stats, and then we're gonna fight this big bad Sith dude. And it's gonna be fine. That's about it. Oh, and yeah, I may or may not be here next session. We'll see what internet is like in Brazil.
Keep us posted.
I'll keep you posted. Hotel internet in Brazil, we don't know.
All right, Harp, you are up next.
Hey everybody, I'm Harper. You know, sometimes I forget that I'm playing in a horror game. When I'm playing this game, because like playing Mario means that I kind of have to treat it like a soap opera. But I definitely got reminded this session. It's funny how like everybody built up so much like character development for Mara there, especially Ellie, and then it's just like, oh no, it's all gone. It's all gone. She just killed like 5 innocent people. I can't say every other tomorrow anymore. I can't say that because tomorrow is the last Beacons of Farlight ever. It's the last Beacons. Yeah. Damn. Show up. All that you need to know is that lesbians kissed and they're fighting an almost god. So what else? Oh, every other next week, starting in 2 next weeks. I'm on Neon with LFTA. That's it.
Harp, I love the way you describe time.
What?
I love it. Genuinely.
Oh, like the every other
Yeah.
tomorrow and like that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the easiest way for me to keep track of it.
I love that for you. All right. I think the way we usually do this is I go before Kian, so Kian can do the channel outro. So I will try to run through everything that I am doing as quickly as possible because this is a slightly chaotic week. And I'm only going to do it by the week because every week is super chaotic. As Q mentioned, on Thursday, I will be over with LFTA doing a duet session for Redacted with him. It should be a lot of fun, a lot of emotional damage, and a lot of explorations of that haunted house. Friday, I will be in that Kids on Bikes game, where, yeah, I'm sure nothing bad will happen whatsoever. I will also be back with Q. I'm going to be seeing Q like 4 times this week. It's incredible because then we will be there for class reunion, and I will be over with Wonders Haven for Fabula Ultima that afternoon right after class reunion ends because I like to make good decisions like 2 games back to back. And I will be running a Season of Secrets and Shadows or Regency Monster Hearts game on Sunday. And then I will have a break. So you do not need to yell at me to sleep more. And I will now toss it over to Kian.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kian. I use any and all pronouns. You can find me on Blue Sky at uptight chiffon. I think I can't remember if it's a dash or an underscore on Blue Sky, but one of them you'll be able to find me. All my stuff has been mentioned, so I'm just gonna go through. I'm gonna be on Kids on Bikes on Friday. I'm gonna be on Beacons tomorrow. That's all that I'm doing right now. Obviously, I'll be here every other Tuesday. Fuck, I closed the thing. Channel stuff. Motherfucker. Y'all think about a raid, because I also forgot to think about a raid. So y'all think about that right now. Every other Tuesday, we are here for They Call Us Villains, our horror mask actual play, GM'd by JD. Every other Thursday, God Complex, a Girl by Moonlight actual play, GM'd by Will. And every other Friday, Weird Wilds War, a 5e actual play, GM'd by JT. So obviously, come check out the other stuff that we are doing. Come hang out. Come join our Discord. Come do all of the fun things. And as I said at the top, community is what's going to get us through. Find joy. Take time to laugh. Take time to love. Continue to do the things that make you happy, because that's a form of resistance right now. Keep yourself safe, but keep yourself connected to the community around you, because that is what we all need. We will be rating somebody. I'm gonna
I
wait
just
and
posted
see.
maybe doing Guild Superior. They are doing one of their ACLU one-shots that the Kids on Bikes game and Wanderers Haven game will be a part of.
That is absolutely perfect. So we're going to be rating Guild Superior. Definitely send a message in the chat whenever you get there. Let them know who sent you. Make sure they get credit for the views. Donate for the ACLU charity fund that we are doing. If you are able to, definitely donate there. Come back on Friday on LFTA. Donate there as well. Show all of the love for the ACLU. They are doing really important work right now. Anyway, that's it. I'll send it over to JD to take us out.
All right, I will take us to the ending screen, and in the meantime, say goodnight to everyone, cast.
Good night.
to
Good night, everyone. Cass.
Good night.
Let me find the screen, and maybe then I will get to say goodnight.